He's a strong defender. And I don't think, because I think you guys may hit on, well, LeBron was just ready to trade him. That means he doesn't like. Because you're willing to trade a player or players for a superstar, that doesn't mean you don't like him. Like, it's possible for me to think Lonzo's a good young player and he can help our team. Oh, but you mean we can get Anthony Davis for him? Sure, I'll trade him. I like you, but I don't love you, all right? I'll trade you.
Okay.
I love Anthony Davis, all right? I would rather have him. So I think the two aren't mutually exclusive. But I will say this. I do think those who are writing Lonzo off and saying he can't become a good NBA player, a really good NBA starter, I don't know if he can be an all-star now, but I'll leave it open because Gary Payton, in his first 2 years of his career, he averaged 9 points and 6 assists. Didn't look like anything special. He had been great in college. John Stockton, it was his 4th year in the league before he was a full-time starter. Steve Nash, his 3rd year in the league before he was a starter. He had to get traded or leave from Phoenix to Dallas to get some playing time. So Lonzo, maybe it won't be in L.A. because obviously now you have LeBron. The ball's going to be in LeBron's hands a lot. And so Lonzo isn't going to be able to do what he typically did as a point guard. He may end up having to go somewhere, whether it's a trade or whatever, to shine and blossom. But I do see things. Look, he can't shoot free throws. He can't shoot, period, that well. So he's got to improve some things. But he does have the instincts. And most importantly, what I think he's got to improve is his motor, his aggressiveness. Like, that should be something you bring every night. And maybe if that's not his temperament, then you better make it your temperament if you want to survive and be good in this league. So if he can be aggressive every night, then I like his chances to become a pretty good player, maybe elsewhere.
Yeah, I think that LeBron is, of course, trying to massage the situation because the defense has been awful. We saw Indiana and Philly where they gave up a ton of points. He knows this guy's coming back. Let me try to pump him up a little bit. So it's kind of a, figured out kind of situation that LeBron's working. But the Lonzo thing for me, he was supposed to be this transcendent player with the 2nd overall pick. That's why Magic talked about hanging his jersey and he was going to do this and break all these records. And he's been none of this. He's been inconsistent. He disappears. You're right. He's too laid back. All of those things. And that's why it's easy to put him in a package. I get the AD thing and why they would want Anthony Davis. But if he was really that guy and you thought you had something really, really special, I'm sorry, I'll make a deal. I'll give you 4 first-round picks. But I'm not giving you Lonzo Ball because he is all that and he's going to be that, and we really believe that. I don't think we've really seen that to really believe that he's going to be that guy. And that doesn't mean, Chris, he's not going to be a decent point guard or a good point guard in the NBA. Do I really believe he's going to be a perennial all-star and a great player? I don't. I haven't seen that enough. I've seen glimpses of it, but I haven't seen enough to believe that. So I think Lonzo has been mostly a disappointment with the Lakers. I think LeBron could play with or without him easily. And that's why I think his name was mentioned. And I think as they move forward, when he comes back, they need to get something out of him. And what does he do well? Defensively, he does that. So let's pump him up. Tell him when you come back, dude, we need you to dig in defensively and help, because that's what the Lakers are lacking right now. So I get it.
No, I don't think we've written off Lonzo Ball. And I don't think the Lakers have, even though they were willing to trade him, because, to your point, they were looking at a superstar and what they can get in return. But when I look at Lonzo Ball and I listen to what LeBron James is saying, this is a guy who obviously a champion, who's won at almost, well, he's only been on 2 levels, but he's been great in high school. He knows how to win there, and he gets to the pros. He had a lot on his shoulder. He got endorsed right away. And he's been able to carry out that mantle. Where Lonzo Ball, he got endorsed by Magic Johnson, and his dad didn't do him any great service by projecting all these things on his son and what he was going to do in the league and how he was going to tear the league up because of his play. and none of that has come to fruition or manifested. And so what now LeBron James' job is to do is to make sure I encourage him. I have to play with this guy. I know offensively, we're not going to get it from a production standpoint offensively, but defensively, yeah, he does make us better because he gives us length. He gives us size on smaller defenders where he can shoot those lanes. He can get his hands on balls. He can deflect things.
He can rebound.
He can rebound. All these things are what they're relying on Lonzo Ball to give them and provide for them. Again, to your point, aggressively every single night. We're not counting on Lonzo Ball to give us 15 points a night. That's not what we need from Lonzo Ball. But we need the rebounds. We need the assists. We need the level of energy to be there so that we can make sure that we're doing our best job defensively, and we'll get done. We'll get Kyle Kuzma's in the groove right now offensively. We don't need too many other guys putting up shots. Defensively, though, yes, and LeBron is doing the exact job that he's supposed to do, saying that, look, I need this guy.
Because we've seen Lonzo Ball get shut out in games, not score any points.
Well, I think it's more than just getting shut out. It's almost like he's not engaged.
Taking himself out.
Exactly. He takes himself out of the game because it's his temperament. I get it. But when you're playing professional sport, you have to come with A-game aggression every single time you're on that court because somebody else is going to look at that.
I hope that this whole episode of, I guess, Lonzo's first 2 years being mediocre, being on the trade block when you were supposed to have your jersey in the Lakers rafters and be the face of the franchise, I hope that this gets him to focus more on basketball, too. And I'm not saying he doesn't work hard and things like that, but if rap videos and all that, think about historically in the NBA, the guys that have made rap videos and rap songs. Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Allen Iverson. Yeah, right, you're right. But they were Damian Lillard. They didn't do that until they had established themselves. And some of them came in right away and established themselves. But my point is, they were stars when they decided, you know what, I can make a rap song or a rap album or whatever it is. And Lonzo's doing it after averaging 10 points and 5 assists or whatever he did last year. And so I hope that, like you said, sometimes the optics, it's not always about the optics, but that can be relevant. Sometimes you just don't do something because it just doesn't look like the right thing to do.
Right.
Well, I think it is about the optics when your level of play hasn't eliminated the optics. Like, if you're showing me that I can bring the optics in and say that this is an issue, like this is just not a good look, because if he was producing offensively, defensively,
nobody would care.
Nobody would care.
Nobody would care.
So the optics do matter because you're not telling me that they don't. You're not showing me with production that they don't.
He was supposed to be box office and wound up being straight to DVD. That's just the fact. That's just the fact about it. That's what he was.
You're going to have to update that because nobody watches TV.
All right, what am I going to say?
I don't know if that's
you know what I mean.
That was good. That was good.
That's where he is.
I think the one thing is Dad, and obviously the proclamations in general haven't helped him, because they put so much pressure on him. But I think the one thing, his dad talking him up so much, that got him drafted second. I think if his dad was a normal dad that we didn't know anything about, and Lonzo had a really good college season his freshman year.
No doubt, no doubt.
But he probably would have still been a lottery pick. But I don't think he would have went second.
And Chris,
there was so much pressure on the Lakers that they took him second.
And that's the other part. I think that Magic kind of got forced into it from this standpoint. If Lonzo Ball's playing in your backyard at UCLA,
and you don't take him,
and he goes somewhere else and blossoms, they'll say Magic can't pick players. You know what I mean? So they were almost, and then his dad's talking up a storm. You better not pass on my boy. He's going to be all this. And if you don't take him and he goes somewhere else, then it's on you. So that's why I think the Lakers almost had no choice.
Yeah, it was such a drive.
I need a hype man for my career.
There you go.
I'll hire LeVar Ball. Should Kevin Durant join the Knicks this summer to boost his legacy? We'll debate that one coming up next.
Featherweight champion Leo the Earthquake Santa Cruz puts his belt on the line against Rafael Rivera. PBC on Fox, live from Microsoft Theater.